Yes! Welcome to another Music Maker guitar video. Today I'm just playing this, actually totally inspired by this Kirk Fletcher video where he talks about double duty guitar. Just a little jam with my metronome today. Backbeat on the 2 and 4, 48 BPM. Just part of my regular practice routine. Playing it today because it's Technique Tuesday. But I thought I should tell you guys what I'm up to this week. I have something a little bit different. Just because, you know, things always change, so I'm always trying to think of what to do next. And something that I was thinking about, I was like, watching all these amazing videos. There's so many amazing players out there now. Like, if you check YouTube, there's like, I don't know how many millions of just really talented guitar players. Instagram feed is full of just amazing guitar players. Some young, some old. It's just all over the map. There's so many great players everywhere. And what I found is it can get like kind of distracting. You can get kind of almost an ADD with it. And start to stop paying attention to what your own playing feels like. And what is your sound, you know? If you try and sound like everything, you never really truly sound like anything, right? So I like to really try and try to like encourage people to get back to like their true inspirations instead of getting distracted by the billions of talented music players out there, because there are so many, and I don't want to discourage any of them from doing their thing because they're killing it right now. So keep on crushing it. We've got like a renaissance of awesome guitar happening right now. But what I'm gonna do to make sure that I can keep my own playing good is something. Actually, Tomo suggested it, and then I saw my friend Riley Stockwell was talking about it on Instagram, and I thought I would maybe. Actually, I'm going to go maybe a step further, and what they were suggesting was 5 weeks. Only focus on 5 different guitar players that inspire you. So, like I said, I'm going to go a little bit differently. I'm going to do 15 weeks, and here's why. I want to start with guitar players because I'm a guitar player. But I've also been really into trying to sound more vocal as a guitar player, so I also chose 5 vocalists. And then something that I did that I think is maybe a little bit different than some of the other people out there are doing, just like something that is for me. I've always found that I love like records, just like great, like front to back, well recorded, like albums of music, and I feel like that's really like formed a strong like place in my soul for how I play. So I also chose 5 records, and I'm gonna do deep listening on like one of those records, and I'm just gonna listen to it. I'm not gonna listen front to back every day, but I'm just gonna listen to like 2 songs off of the record every day until the whole thing's done. And if I repeat a couple, then I'll just pick my favorites and repeat those. But I'm just gonna like for the whole week only try and listen to that and not distract myself with any other thing, and really try and dive deep, maybe transcribe a couple of things, and like really learn what it is about those records that I love. So that said, I'm gonna share all 3 of these lists with you today. I'm gonna start with my guitar players. So number 1 on my list is Derek Trucks. He's just an amazing player, and sometime on this channel I'll have to share my Derek Trucks story because I have a really, really cool experience with him as a person. He's just a great guy, but he's also a fantastic, super inspirational player, and I'm just going to listen to him a lot. Number 2, Wes Montgomery. I think I heard my first album of his maybe when I was 12 or 13 years old. It was Movin' Wes. I remember that very clearly. And yeah, I don't know what it was about it, but I mean, if anybody's listened to Wes Montgomery and know and love his music like I do, you know what it is. It's just, he's an amazing guitarist, and his music is inspirational. And that said, I'm going to let it inspire me a little bit for a week. Number 3 is a big one, Danny Gatton. I listened to him a lot during my childhood, and then like for some reason I went off to Berkeley and I started like getting into like John McLaughlin and like, you know, just so many other players that are great, and like Pat Martino, you know, just so many. And I never really got back to him, so I decided I should really like get back to my roots a little bit and just listen to some good old Danny Gatton. Number 4, George Harrison. Not super virtuosic like the previous two, but just always amazing tone, always amazing writing, and I really love that about him. He's always been one of my favorite guitar players for that reason. And true story, I was George in a Beatle cover band, so that kind of goes back to my roots on that. And then number 5, John Scofield, another person I've been a big fan of for a long time. I've never actually sat down and transcribed much of anything that he did, other than like a little bit of Jeep on 35, which I was doing in a band for a while. So, but that said, he's super inspirational player, very fun to listen to. Uber Jam was a very formative part of my listening years. That and Up All Night, both of those records, huge influences on my guitar playing formative years, like I said. So that was my 5 guitar players. Okay, let's get on to 5 singers. And feel free to leave me your own, but I try to like spread it all across the map here. So I got number 1, Aretha. Of course, Aretha Franklin, right? How can you not? When I'm listening, I'm going to be listening mostly just to her, and I'm going to be maybe trying to see if I can transcribe a little bit. Number 2, Ray Charles. Going to probably transcribe him and some of the piano playing and all of that too. Just because, honestly, for him, he wasn't super formative on me growing up, but I've been listening to all of these guitar players who are so great, and they're all saying that they all just listen to Ray Charles through their whole childhood. So I want to take a week and just really, really digest, like on a deep level, like I've never done before. And then 3, I got the Rat Pack. They were actually a big formative part of my like jazz learning background. I just used to listen to Frank Sinatra a lot when I was forming lines. My guitar teacher used to tell me, like, if you can't form lines like Frank Sinatra sings them, then you probably just shouldn't bother with that line. Like, save that, practice it, and don't play that in a performance, you know, until it's ready. So that was really cool of him. Number 4, I have D'Angelo. Just a big fan of his music, always have been, and big formative piece of my history with that record Voodoo. And then number 5, a little bit of a modern one. I haven't listened to her that much yet, but I really love everything that I hear, so I'm just going to dive deep into Lizzo. Really, really cool, amazing person. And why don't I go ahead and get into the records next? I'm just going to go through these a little quicker. Number 1, going to be Earth, Wind, and Fire, All in All. Fantastic, right? Beatles, Abbey Road, can't go wrong. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Again, just can't go wrong with that one. Then, this one's, people look at me funny when I say this one in music school circles, but I don't care. This was a big part of my childhood, and is still one of my favorite records. I could still go back and listen to it and have a great time. Weezer, the Blue Album. Thank you, Weezer, for doing that, because seriously, such a great record. And like I said, I mean, I think I was in middle school when that one came out, and I can still go back and enjoy those songs 100%, like on the same level. So thanks, guys, for writing an amazing, amazing record there. And then number 5, Joe Pass, Herb Ellis, 2 for the Road. Back to the things that the Berkeley people like. But that said, obviously Joe Pass and Herb Ellis, 2 legendary jazz guitar players, but that's another one that I used to just listen to a lot, over and over and over as a teenager, and I haven't really touched it as a whole in years, so it'd be really great to just get back into it and get back to my own roots and try and channel some of like my own personality, more of my own personality out on this instrument, because that's always the goal, is for this to connect to this and not the other way around. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play my way out, but thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again tomorrow.